The following is a special presentation of the PDF Sports Network.
Good morning, everybody. Super good morning. We are super early. Way too early with Pat. And way too early with Pat is in the Atlantic time zone right now. In Cap Cana, Dominican Republic. You see, we are here in Cap Cana. Got a villa for the week. Hit the beach up later and such, so see the family. What's going on? Let's talk some football, shall we? So, all right, here we go. So we have some football to talk about. We got the New England Golden Lions. Congratulations on their win in Las Vegas last night. They're probably just starting to head in from their night on the town, being that it's probably like 2 in the morning there. So we're going to see if we get those guys up and early, talk about that game. We'll chat about that. And then, do I have something? Let's see. Boom, gotcha. All right. And we will also talk about the Super Bowl. I still am getting the clips and stuff like that together from that weekend. It was a super awesome weekend in New Orleans. Big shout out to the city of New Orleans for putting on a heck of a Super Bowl host experience. Great time. And then we will preview today's game, the New York Bandits versus the Cincinnati Dukes. They're playing down in Miami. I actually bumped into one of the Bandit players at the airport on the way down here, and it looks like they are super prepared. So, we'll get into some of the secrets and how to get these nationals trips handled when it comes to travel and semi-pro football, which it's tough to get your team, from state to state, let alone across time zones. So big shout out to those teams that have done it and done it successfully. Great job to those guys. So first, let's talk about yesterday's game. So yesterday's game, New England Golden Lions versus Las Vegas Vipers. They were out in Vegas. Absolutely, it was a really good game. The Golden Lions ended up pulling away early, so it was never really a contested game. But when you looked at the footage, big shout out to David Miranda and Good Guy Audits, because he had the live, so I was able to take a look at the game. And what you ended up seeing was, no surprise, the offensive line, defensive line matchups was what dictated that game early. Even though the first points put on the board was a pick six, I think it went back 60 to 70 yards back for a touchdown. The Vipers were able to establish a little bit of the run, but when it came down to it, the Golden Lions never surrendered points. So although the Vipers were able to get, not even chunks of yardage, but they had some movement of the ball, were getting first downs and moving the sticks. Since you were on the Golden Lions sideline when it came to the filming, you saw that they rarely ever panicked. They got themselves back in the mode of being able to, calm it down. And then, pardon me real quick, let me see if I get some of the, if you are sending me a friend request, a request to come on the show, please let me know in the comments. What up, Josh? How you doing? Say what's up in the comments. Make sure you can hear me and such. Yo. And if you want to get on this, shoot something in the comments. Even though I might not be able to see your request, and I'll get you on. Absolutely. Good morning. How's everything? Good to see you, brother. So, what I saw out of that game was the Golden Lions defensive line putting pressure on the quarterback, ending up forcing that interception return for a touchdown. Kid in the pool, gotcha, no problem. So, thank you, Anthony. Pool vibes. On the offensive end of the ball, the Golden Lions offensive line protected their quarterback very well. He had time in the pocket. He was making basic throws that you take for granted until you're unable to complete them in moving the ball. So moving the ball in semi-pro football, moving the sticks for longer possessions in week one, and mind you, this is kind of what it is for the Golden Lions because it's been so long since they have taken a snap, I believe since last June. So essentially it's week one. To be able to complete those passes just shows that those guys have been practicing of late, and definitely got a inside scoop on some of the practice habits that they've had, and it was definitely showing early in the game as they were able to avoid week one mistakes, and the Vipers just at that point weren't really ready for it. So let me check the comments real quick. Anybody else have? Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Gotcha. So that was the Lions game. So now the Lions go into week one of the Big East season, only a few weeks away, and they're able to get a lot of momentum for that Big East opener. So we shall see. The trend lately has been to not do a lot of preseason games. Not to show the product, kind of get out on week one. Last year with the Patriots, for example, didn't do any preseason games. We did a in-house practice with the Tri-State Shields, which was absolute awesome for us to be able to kind of see what we had without putting the record on the line for week one. But again, it's a double-edged sword. If you're the Lions, you're going to end up being able to put that on your resume for nationals. So whether it's Sunshine Bowl or any other bowls that are coming up, you're able to, put down one, a quality opponent, a quality win. Two, you're able to travel, which definitely shows a lot on this level. And three, you're able to stack up wins against teams that are not, trash teams and repeat teams like in leagues in which people or teams play each other twice. So that was a good time. Hey, what's going on, man? Fella, good to see you. What up? Phil Gordon in the house. Trente Quattro, what up? I still have your Gators helmet, by the way. Please let me know when you're going to come by and pick it up. Obviously, I'm out of town right now, but nonetheless, message is sent. Cool. All right. So, speaking of resume for Sunshine Bowl, let's get into the Sunshine Bowl. The New York Bandits are heading down to Miami to play in the Sunshine Bowl. Absolutely awesome trip. This Bandit team is starting to get back to the days of old, not just when it comes to their program winning, but in terms of the way that they are winning, setting the trend for semi-pro football in the area. Went down to North Carolina a couple weeks ago, got a big win on the road, and then a couple weeks later, now they're heading down to Florida to play in nationals as a champ. So we're starting to see back to the trend of building a little bit more of a resume as opposed to you just win your league and then take the trip to nationals. Is it good for the game? I absolutely think it is, because not even the champions of leagues are not equipped to do that type of travel, but we do want to see them play competition that is not in their league. So here's a perfect opportunity to say, hey, look, let's not assume that just because you won your league, you're going to take the trip down to Florida or take the trip down to, or out, in this case, out to Las Vegas, or whatever it is for whatever nationals that you're competing in. Let's take a look at some regional action or a smaller sample size on the national stage rather than just a one and done in the Sunshine State. So it should be interesting. So on the way out to, as you tuned in earlier on, I'm in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I was at the airport, ran into truck Amari Clark. You guys have to know him at this point. He's one of those guys that have been around forever. defensive lineman for the New York Bandits, and he was locked in. Like he said, as soon as he saw me in the airport, you know where I'm going, you know we're handling business. And he just had this look on his face, and he is usually a good barometer for what the team is looking like, because when he's excited, and you know he's a very mild-mannered type of dude, then you know the team is excited. So I expect to see a good showing out of the Bandits today. I think their kickoff is at 3 o'clock, so definitely tune into that. The Sunshine Bowl broadcast is up on the Sunshine Bowl site, but we'll definitely repost that in the Bleezy page. So what's going to be the key to the Cincinnati Dukes? I did take a look at some of the Cincinnati Dukes footage. Understand, when you talk about Cincinnati, Ohio, just going back to what we saw with the New England Golden Lions is practice. So if teams are making week one mistakes, specifically turnovers and penalties, and anybody has ever played football for my teams in week one, I always say the same thing, which is it's about turnovers and penalties. And although this is essentially the end of the Bandits 2024 campaign, it's been a couple of weeks off, and for Cincinnati especially, it's been more weeks off. So the team that capitalizes off of turnovers, and when you look at that Bandit secondary, that's where you're going to see it. Essentially, the front four picking up fumbles, snaps that may go awry, those type of week one mistakes. Also holding penalties up front, and then the secondary kind of cashing in on it, because those are the guys that usually return things to the house, just like you saw in the Golden Lions game yesterday. And I believe the Golden Lions actually had 2 defensive touchdowns to open the game, and then their offense caught up to it and put on the rest of the 30-some-odd points in that win yesterday. So with the Bandits on offense, just making sure that they protect the ball, continue to move the ball, the fact that they played in North Carolina and were able to throw the ball with such efficiency, you know that their offensive coordinator, legend Quincy Banks, he's going to be aggressive, and it's a guy that has been in these type of big games before. That experience is something that you're going to look out for. Oftentimes, especially on the big stage, you see first-time coordinators, first-time coaches play it way too conservative, and then they kind of end up in these games where it's like super boring. Teams are basically just running, fumbling, and giving it back, and then trying to punt, and then it ends up in these like 6-0 or like 12-6 games. I don't expect to see one of those games. I expect to see a Bandit offense, a Bandit team, by the way, because defense could possibly get in on the scoring. I'm expecting to see 30-plus points in this one, just as much. The question is, will Cincinnati be able to keep up with that pace, or will they be able to keep the ball away from the Bandit offense? We shall see. So that should be an awesome matchup. Any comments on this? Agree with me, disagree with me? I'll give you a second to catch up. Cool. And I can see that most people are not awake yet, and that's cool. Catch it on the replay. Oh, there you go. Because it's like 8:30 here, so that's 7:30. Yeah, so we're talking about like 3 in the morning in Vegas. So, last thing that I'm going to bring up, Super Bowl 59. Go Birds. So, absolutely amazing, amazing time. Again, when I get back this way. Hello, Muffin. How are you? Kiss. Thank you. Super Bowl 59 was a great time. Actually, the family came out as well for this one. Bourbon Street during the Super Bowl experience was an absolutely awesome time. The party was absolutely awesome. The military presence, because of the terrorist attack on New Year's, was absolutely over the top. It may have actually like kind of scared some folks away, so you wouldn't have seen as big of a crowd than what you would, but it was still packed. But definitely felt safe. The food, absolutely amazing. Big shout out to Broussard's. So if you didn't check out last week's Way Too Early with Pat, we went over the food choices and different places to go when you go to New Orleans to eat. Add Broussard's to that list. Absolutely amazing food. If you are Valentine's Daying it or taking a significant other that's a little bit up in price range, Broussard's is the place to go. Very, very fancy, upscale. Now, for those of you that are just trying to get it done and, you know, get some grub in, not trying to spend that much money, head on over to Mother's. That's an awesome place as well. Very good food. Oh, yes, indeed. So whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Mother's is definitely the place to go to, and the price is very cost effective. So New Orleans is one of those cities where it kind of flies by people's radar. People are like, oh yeah, I haven't been, but yeah, I plan to go. Just get going and get out there. So one of the themes, hey, what's up, Clark? What's up, Rick? How you doing, sir? One of the themes that we definitely want to touch upon is, and again, as you can see, I'm definitely in paradise right now, is for anybody in our semi-pro community, players, coaches, whatever, these type of experiences are really affordable if you just know what you're doing. So for some of the guys that have, I'm not even gonna say the older guys because it's not like older guys type of money, but if you have any suggestions, if you've had an experience, if you have a connection, which is what semi-pro football is about, if you have a connection where you can, you know, just give us some guidance, give us some knowledge about a place that is a really great bang for your buck, so to speak, pause, man, share it so we can make sure that everybody in the community has an opportunity to share in these type of experiences, especially the younger that you are, the better it is, because you get to experience those things way younger than even myself or Coach Black, as you saw last week, kind of like grow with experience. And the purpose of this thing is to use other people's experience to not make the same mistakes or, you know, not waste time in this thing. So that's just my 2 pennies on my soapbox this morning when it comes to that. So definitely, if you have an idea on cruises, vacations, you have one of those like off the beaten path, whatever experiences, please share with us. I definitely want to take a look at more stuff and do some more traveling. Great time. So back to the Super Bowl. I kind of wrap up with this. The game itself, I've been to, this is my 11th Super Bowl that I've been to. Blessed in general, but blessed to see the Eagles. This is the 3rd time, so won 2 and lost 1 in the ones that I've been to. And there's nothing more nerve-wracking than watching your own team play the Super Bowl. I definitely have enjoyed myself more in years that the Eagles have not been in it, although I wouldn't trade the Eagles being in it for the world, but absolutely nerve-wracking. But the fact that the Eagles were able to kind of take a stranglehold of the game early definitely made it more enjoyable than even the last time when we lost to the Chiefs on the field goal, basically the walk-off field goal 2 years ago. Definitely a better experience than that. But again, just nerve-wracking. Superdome was absolutely awesome, good sight lines. I was in the upper deck, about 5th row up, but wasn't so far back from the action. Very good sight line, very good experience all together. Hold on for a second. Yes. Can we get in that? Possibly. Okay, cool. So, I was also able to go to the after party, the Eagles official after party, where the Super Bowl trophy was handed out. So it was passed around, I should say, because it was handed out at the game. Dallas Goddard actually handed me the Super Bowl trophy, so I was able to actually hold the Super Bowl trophy. Absolutely amazing experience. One of the artists that performed that I was not up on, which I absolutely have now added to the playlist, is Big X the Plug. Was not up on this on his music at all. He hit the stage basically for the longest set. The Eagles players absolutely love him, and when hearing his music, absolutely figured out why pretty quickly. So if you get a chance, Big X the Plug, if you're not up on it, take a listen. It's definitely a good listen. Sexy Red was there performing. Not really my thing. She's kind of whatever. Just because, yeah, whatever. There's another artist, I totally don't know who he is, but again, you younger guys know who these people are. I don't. But all the players were there having a good time. You saw, Howie Roseman before he got hit in the head with the beer at the parade. Howie Roseman came out with the trophy. Jeff Lurie, the owner of the team, was literally a foot away from me. absolutely amazing experience. So go Birds. So I can actually talk my shit for another full 365 days, and hopefully we get a chance to repeat this thing, and then y'all are in trouble. So Super Bowl trophy number 2, so you can't say, oh, the Eagles only have 1. Nope, now we got 2, working on 3rd. So big shout out Jalen Hurts, man. That kid, he just wins wherever he goes. And also one of the players that very underrated, Devontae Smith. When you look at his resume, he comes up big in big games all the time. Absolute game changer, absolutely. So that's my 2 cents on that. Again, great time at the Super Bowl. I know the guys down in Miami are having an amazing time as well. Get business handled and then enjoy the rest of the day. I know the Golden Lions are out on Fremont or down on the Strip, having an absolutely awesome time celebrating their win. It definitely is a better trip back, a better experience after the game, going out and partying when you get the W than if you lose the game. So great job to those guys. In upcoming weeks, we are almost hitting March, basically in 2 weeks. So once we hit March, we're back into game mode, and I'll be heading out to some of the games. I'm going to be calling the Big East opener for HSG up in their Connecticut site. So they have the Connecticut site and then Pacina and New Rochelle. I'll be heading up to the Connecticut site to do the broadcast for that. And you'll definitely see me around doing broadcasts for different establishments or whatever. If you were doing a scrimmage, and I know I saw a scrimmage, great scrimmage between the Eagles and the Wolfpack down in Delaware at the University of Delaware facilities. Great job by those guys. That's the type of event I'd like to, go out and cover, get some video clips, do some interviews and things like that. Just to profile everybody that's doing it right. You know what I'm saying? And having their organizations reflect so positively on minor league football. So, and that is pretty much it. As I take this thing out, hold on for 1 second. Cool. So, from Cap Cana, Dominican Republic, we're going to say we will see you next week. Hey, yo. Smile, wave, and say goodbye. Say bye. Oh, Anthony in the background with his asshole. All right, y'all. Have an awesome day.